UFC heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall has recently posted a recovery image of a recent surgery he had on his eyes. As you know, back in his fight with Cyril Gane, he was double eye poked. It didn't look too bad, at least like at a first glance, but a lot of fans were giving him shit, saying that he was faking it, trying to get out of that fight, and I highly disagree with that. And y'all kind of owe him an apology now after this. Why would the guy fake it and then get double eye surgery? You don't just do that. So Tom Aspinall, like I said, he was having a decent fight against Cyril Gane. It was very close on numbers. Just he had a bloody nose, so people thought he was getting destroyed. Typical dumb MMA fans. And he gets double eye poked deep. We got the photo right here. I mean, and these are heavyweight fingers. They're fat fucking sausage fingers. They're not little flyweight hands. And apparently Cyril Gane has got some nasty shit under his fingernails. Probably some gonorrhea or something, whatever he's doing over there. Because it really took a toll on Aspinall. He couldn't see for weeks after the fight, and obviously had to undergo double eye surgery, which isn't normal for an eye poke. People give him shit for other people taking eye pokes like Waldo Cortez Acosta. You didn't get poked this bad because clearly Tom wouldn't fake that to get surgery. So a lot of y'all owe him an apology. I want to go through that in today's video, as well as some big news going on with Mike Perry and Eddie Alvarez having a brawl at their recent Bare Knuckle FC. But we'll get to that. All this to say, y'all need to apologize to Tom Aspinall right here and right now. There's been tons of people. There still are people, but this is one of the bigger tweets that came out. I'm still in genuine shock that motherfuckers think Aspinall isn't milking the eye poke scandal. Not only did the doctor in the cage, UFC doctors have told fighters Victor Henry got kicked in the nuts by Javid Basharat, and the doctor told him you didn't get hit in the nuts. I'm not listening to a UFC doctor. Not only did the doctor in the cage and after say there was no major damage, how can you tell in a cage? Major damage requires looking at it with professional tools, you idiot. And putting him on a terrible acting display. But this fucker's been out for 4 months and still talking about it. Almost like he had to get double eye surgery because the eye poke was so bad. I bet you feel real stupid right now, Sicky Does MMA. I bet you feel real dumb. And all these guys who agree with it, calling him a fraud, saying that he's faking it, saying it's pathetic. Where are you now? Stand on business now. The guy had to get double eye surgery because of it. Stand on business now and show us how much of a fucking idiot you are for defending an eye poking cheat. The eye poke went knuckle deep. Not only did he go knuckle deep on his right eye, he went almost middle of the knuckle deep on his left eye. Both of them got destroyed, and how anybody can say he was faking this, you don't know MMA. You're just hype trained, you're rage bait, and you're a cancer to the sport. Use your brain, use critical thinking. Tom Aspinall got violently fouled from Gane, who's a notorious cheater. That entire team, Nasruddin Imavov, a lot of French fighters, they eye poke, they groin shot, and clearly they put some malicious intent behind it because Tom Aspinall had to get double eye surgery. Dude, Gane was probably cutting his fingernails to look like shark teeth before the fight, knowing that he could get him with it. What are we doing here? Why isn't Gane getting shit on? Why isn't Gane getting denied a rematch? This is his third title fight, and the fight ended because he got an eye poke that bad. And anytime he does get a finish, it's back of the headshots, like against Tuivasa. It's pathetic that fans even go after Aspinall. The guy got eye poked, and you call him the bitch. What are we doing? We've lost the plot as a fan base, truly. But it's pathetic. But, you know, I don't know, man. After all this, I don't know what's next for Aspinall. Probably, I don't know. Everything's up in the air right now. We have the unification thing. They're talking about Pereira Gane interim. They're talking about just, Gane Aspinall rematch, which I'm fine with if Aspinall can heal. But if Aspinall's going to be out of the cage for a minute, then I think we should do like a Pereira Gane interim title. Until then, I'm not really sure what to do about that division there. But, I mean, it's just so pathetic the way people are treating Tom Aspinall. Sorry, I'm trying to refresh my tab here because this tab specifically just doesn't want to open. And I felt like it was going to my point. Yeah, so it's the next topic. Eddie Alvarez versus Mike Perry 2, apparently. So Mike Perry was recently at Knucklemania as well as Eddie Alvarez in the crowd. And they were having a bit of a discussion, kind of jawing at each other. And so there's Eddie Alvarez right here. Here's Mike Perry in this hat. And this appears to be Eddie Alvarez's son. I don't know what words were exchanged. We haven't heard anything yet. But in this moment here, you see Alvarez kind of trying to get in between and protect him. It looks like his son's talking tough. Perry says something that's really out of line. And this guy pushes Perry. Alvarez is like, all right, we're going in on it. And then all of Alvarez's team, the pussies that they are, jump Mike Perry. I understand Mike Perry said something he shouldn't have said to a kid. But Alvarez, you had your chance in the ring with Mike, and he brutalized you. He did this to you in the cage. Now, I understand he said something terrible, and you can take him on 1v1 if you want to end up looking like this again. But 6v1 and y'all didn't leave a scratch on him? It's bitch-made behavior, in my opinion. But again, there's context to this. Mike Perry shouldn't have been running his mouth. He Oh, it just doubled the tab. That's what was going on. My fault. He actually came out with a statement. So Eddie came out with one first when asked on. He said it was deserved and asked for. Ask Mike and he will agree. I'm glad Mike's okay and nobody got hurt. You can't fuck with someone's family and expect shit to be cordial. Mike Perry's response: I said something to his son, disrespected his son or whatever because he pissed me off. So clearly Eddie's son was talking crazy to Mike Perry because his dad was right there. Like his dad didn't get his ass whooped. So, he was flapping his gums. And Eddie was doing what a dad should do. He really wasn't trying to get me on the ground. So I think it was more Eddie's chumps thinking this is my chance to ever land a punch in a fight because this guy would murder me in a sanctioned bout. So you can't really put too much of a blame on Eddie, but his friends and whoever was jumping Perry, y'all are some pussies. Let him run the ones because we know how that's going to go. But, Mike Perry probably said something he shouldn't have said. I don't think there's anything that's disclosed what he said. He's not going to come out and say it. Eddie's not going to say it. It seems to be kind of a let bygones be bygones thing. But clearly in the beginning of the video, Eddie Alvarez's son is kind of leaning in, jawing at Mike Perry. Mike Perry's bringing it back. He's someone who's going to talk. But I don't know how fair Eddie is. And it was Eddie's chump down here that pushed him and kind of started the brawl. It's a 50-50, I don't think you can let your son talk sweet and then get mad when he gets some shit said back to him. But again, I don't know the context here, so I can't fully hate on him. Perry must have said some really messed up shit for them to jump on him immediately, but it seems like it all kind of blew over. It was understood that it was disrespect and it had to happen, but he said he didn't take too much damage and it wasn't really Eddie going for the punches. It was his chumps. So crazy time at a Bkfc event. It seems like there's always fights. The crowd's always very lively in those. But yeah, just wanted to do a little recap video on some news going through today. I am really disgusted at how Tom Aspinall has been treated as a champion who's had to sit out and wait for John just to retire and then talk about prayer at the White House and then talk about his arthritis and then not wanting to, he's been through the ringer he's been through essentially UFC cucking. He's had to sit out and wait for his shot and he didn't even get a shot. He got promoted to Undisputed, which a lot of fans will never recognize because we're a stupid sport. Then he finally gets a fight booked. He's an entertaining guy, and when he has a tough competitive first round, he's trash. He wanted a way out. His nose was busted up from one jab and then just continuous peppering. It was close. It was like 29-27 gone. Aspinall might have landed more, actually. And then he gets filthy eye poked. And y'all make fun of him. Y'all call him out and say he's milking it. You should be ashamed of yourselves for that behavior. I digress, though. But also, it wouldn't be a Mike Perry news story if he wasn't trying to fight someone. I don't think they'll ever run this back because Eddie kind of knows what would happen. But clearly, Mike was jawing. His son, I don't think, can get away with talking the way he was from what the video's showing. But it seems to be water under the bridge. We have no UFC this weekend, so I'm going to figure out what to upload. But yeah, just a short video today recapping what's going on. Nothing crazy, but I'm excited for what comes after. I'm not excited. Sean Strickland versus Fluffy. See ya.